Let me ask you something personal. And I mean really personal. When was the last time you checked your bank account and felt genuinely peaceful, not panicked? Not immediately calculating what bill is coming out next Friday, not doing that little mental gymnastics routine where you figure out if you can afford both groceries and dignity this week. When was the last time money felt like something that was working for you instead of something you were constantly running from? Because if the answer is not recently, or possibly never, I want you to stay right here with me, because what I am about to share with you today might be the most important conversation about money you have ever had. And I promise you, it is not going to sound like anything you have heard before. Now, before we go any further, I need to say something out loud that the financial industry spends a lot of time not saying. Managing money is genuinely hard when you do not have enough of it. It is hard when you grew up watching adults stress about it. It is hard when every money advice video assumes you already have a surplus to work with and a spare afternoon to build a spreadsheet. And it is especially hard when somewhere deep inside you there is a voice, quiet but persistent, that whispers, maybe people like me just are not meant to be wealthy. Maybe that life is for other people. Maybe I missed some boat that everyone else seemed to catch without even trying. I hear that voice. I know that voice intimately. And I am here to tell you today that voice is not wisdom. That voice is just an old story. And old stories, no matter how long you have been telling them, can always be rewritten. Here is what I know to be true after years of studying the relationship between the human mind and the flow of abundance. The reason most people struggle financially has very little to do with how hard they work. Most people I know who are broke are working themselves absolutely ragged. They are exhausted. They are hustling. They are doing everything society told them to do and still coming up short at the end of the month. The problem is not their effort. The problem is what is happening underneath the effort. The problem is their money story. The invisible set of beliefs inherited mostly about what money is, who deserves it, whether it is safe to have it, whether having it makes you a good or bad person, and whether someone like you is even allowed to want it. This is not woo-woo nonsense. This is neuroscience. Your brain has something called a reticular activating system, which is a very impressive sounding name for your brain's search engine. Whatever you focus on, whatever you believe to be true about your world, your reticular activating system goes out and finds evidence for it. It filters your reality to confirm your existing beliefs. So if you believe deep down that money is scarce, that you always struggle, that wealth is for other people, your brain will obligingly highlight every piece of evidence that confirms that story and quietly filter out everything that contradicts it. You will miss opportunities. You will talk yourself out of ideas. You will self-sabotage without even knowing you are doing it. Not because you are foolish, but because your brain is doing exactly what brains are designed to do. It is matching your outer world to your inner world with breathtaking efficiency, which means that if you want to change your financial reality, you have to start by changing your financial frequency. And that begins in your mind, in your beliefs, and in the words you speak about money every single day. So here is the framework I want to walk you through today. There are 4 steps to manifesting financial freedom, And before anyone in the comments comes for me, I want to be very clear that manifesting does not mean sitting on your couch, visualizing a pile of cash, and waiting for it to materialize on your doorstep. Manifesting means aligning your thoughts, your beliefs, your energy, and your actions so powerfully with the reality you want that you begin to move toward it naturally and consistently. It is about removing the internal blocks that have been keeping you small and stepping into the version of you that knows how to create, receive, and grow wealth. These two things, the inner work and the outer action, are not separate. They work together, always. Step 1 is cleaning up your money talk. For the next 7 days, I want you to pay close attention to everything you say about money, every single thing. Do you say things like, I am always broke, money never stays with me, rich people are greedy, I just am not good with money, I could never afford that? Every one of those statements is an instruction. You are literally programming your subconscious mind with those words, and your subconscious mind, blessed, does not have a sense of humor. It takes everything literally and gets to work making it true. So we are going to start interrupting those patterns, not by pretending everything is fine when it is not, but by choosing more accurate and more open statements. Instead of I am always broke try, I am learning to manage money better every day. Instead of I could never afford that try, that is not my priority right now, or I am working toward being able to choose that. These are not lies. These are more honest and more empowering versions of your truth. Small shift, enormous difference over time. Step 2 is getting specific about what financial freedom actually means to you. And I mean really specific. Because financial freedom is not just a feeling. It is a number. It is a lifestyle. It is a set of choices. And most people have never actually sat down and defined what it looks like for them personally. They just have this vague, aching sense that they want more, without ever getting clear enough on the details to actually move toward them. So here is your assignment. Get a piece of paper, an actual physical piece of paper, and write down what your financially free life looks like in vivid detail. What does your home look like? What do you do with your mornings? What does your bank account say? What are you no longer worrying about? What are you able to give? What are you able to experience? Write it in the present tense as if it is already true. Not, I want this, but I have this, and it feels like this. This is not delusion. This is direction. Your brain needs a clear target to move toward, and you just gave it one. Step 3 is identifying and challenging your money blocks. This is the inner work that most people skip because it is uncomfortable, and skipping it is precisely why most people stay stuck. Grab that piece of paper again and answer these questions honestly. What did money mean in the house you grew up in? Was it a source of stress, secrecy, shame, or conflict? What messages did you receive, spoken or unspoken, about wealthy people? Were they admired or resented? What do you believe, deep down, you deserve financially? Because that last question is the one that does the most damage for the most people. We walk around with this unconscious ceiling on what we allow ourselves to receive, and every time we start to approach it, we find a way to bring ourselves back down. A sudden expense, a bad investment, giving too much away, undercharging for our work. It all comes back to that ceiling. And the only way to raise the ceiling is to look at it directly and decide consciously that it no longer applies to you. Step 4 is taking one aligned action every single day. And here I want to be very direct with you because I love you too much to let you skip this part. The inner work without outer action is just journaling. Beautiful, necessary journaling, but journaling nonetheless. Once you have started shifting your beliefs, you have to meet the universe halfway. That means learning one new thing about money every week. It means having the honest conversation with yourself about where your money is actually going. It means applying for the opportunity even when you feel unready. It means starting the side project, making the call, sending the pitch. It means treating your financial growth with the same seriousness and consistency you would give anything else you genuinely cared about. You do not have to have it all figured out. You just have to take one step today, and then one step tomorrow, and then one step the day after that. Momentum is built from small, consistent movements, not from grand, dramatic leaps. Here is what I want you to do right now before this video ends and before the notifications pull you back into your regular programming. Choose one thing from today, just one. Write one money affirmation and say it out loud 3 times. Write one paragraph about what your financially free life looks and feels like. Answer one honest question about where your money beliefs came from. Or take one small aligned action toward a financial goal you have been putting off. One thing, right now. Because the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not as wide as your fear tells you it is. It is bridged by one decision at a time, made by someone who has decided they are worth the life they are dreaming of. And you, my darling, are absolutely worth it. You were worth it before you had the money to prove it, and you will be worth it on every step of the journey toward it. If this video opened something up in you today, please give it a like and share it with one person in your life who needs to hear that their financial story is not finished yet. Subscribe, because we have so many more of these conversations ahead of us. And drop a comment below telling me one belief about money you are leaving behind today. I cannot wait to read it.